Parashat Devarim is dedicated to רפואה שלמה of Shachar בת לילך, תינוק בן תמרה אסתר, שרה בת שבע בת שרה, אברהם ben Elisheva Penina, Mishael ben Leah, and also Leilui Nishmat, my dear friend Rami ben Nelly, been already like 45 years, so this is going to be Leilui Nishmat. So Parashat Devarim, which is opening, is the first parasha in the list of the 5 books of Moses, right? Also known as Mishnah Torah. In a way, Mishnah Torah, because in a way it's a repetition or review on everything that happened to Am Yisrael. And as we always say, these are the words of Moshe Rabbeinu to the nation of Israel. They were said from Rosh Chodesh Shvat until Zayin Be'adar, which is the day that he passed away from this world. From a time frame point of view, we are right now in what we call Ben HaMeitzarim. Meitzarim is narrows, the straits that usually stresses and oppresses. And we are right now, this Sunday is going to be the fast of Tisha B'Av. I hope we would not have to fast because of good things, not because of bad things. And Parashat Devarim comes especially during this time in order to teach us the secrets that would help us deal with pain, agony, and with mourning. Just as last week's Parashat Masa'eh, here too, there is no Zohar on this parasha. There's no Zohar on this parasha. And the meaning of that is that we are in hiding. There's something that is a secret and it's hiding, because these are the days of what we call Ben HaMetzarim. These are the days of judgment. However, as much as it's revealed, so is the light that is hidden in those days. In other words, because there is such a great light. Remember what I told you yesterday, in a way, you can reach a higher level during this time that you can reach during Elul. Because in Elul, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come closer to you. Here we are trying to seek closeness with God, and that will bring us even closer, could potentially bring us. So because there's such great light, that's what we need a lot of cover up to cover that light. The sages, our sages, the Mekubalim, understood long time ago that our perception of reality, and I dare to say, was not so good for us in, let's say, the past 2,000 years. 2,000 years of persecutions, of being miserable, and even developing that awareness of the victim that keep on repeating itself over and over and over again. They understood that something most likely is wrong in the way in which we perceive reality. Now, it's wrong, or something is off in the way we perceive reality, but not in the way that reality perceives us. Just like, as they said, there's in quantum physics, there is the concept that it's called the principle of uncertainty, or the Heisenberg principle of uncertainty, which is one of the central focal point of quantum mechanics, that really determines or establishes a limitation, a fundamental limitation on our ability to measure simultaneously two different sizes of physical elements in a complete precision. Of course, it is the basic concept of that theory deals with the place and movement of particles, and which is, for me, I mean, this thing is fascinating, because the more we would measure the placement of a particle with greater precision, we will be able to determine his movement in less precision. In other words, the more we measure it, the less precise we would be, and the other way around. Of course, it's the formula of delta x times delta p, and so on and so forth, divided by h, and so on. In other words, what does it really tell us? That concept, in a very abbreviated and unprofessional way, it says that uncertainty does not stem itself from measuring instrument that is inaccurate, but rather from nature itself. In quantum system, right? For example, if we're talking about electrons or something like this, we were not going to be able to measure all the characteristics of that particle at any given moment with great precision. It's impossible to know that. So as a result of that, quantum physics deals with probabilities, not with absolute determination and statements. For example, if you're trying to find the exact location of a specific in a specific place of one electron, let's say in an atom, you are not going to be able to tell its speed, because if you're going to measure its speed, you're not going to be able to know where it is. Now, this is why I'm telling you that, because really this has to do with everything that we're trying to do during this time, and the coming of Mashiach, and so on and so forth. So as soon as we're going to measure reality, in a way, what comes out from it, as soon as we measure reality, we created a change within this reality. So is the Kabbalah teaches us to see every story and everything that comes our way, whether it's something that we learn, whether it's people that we meet, to find something you didn't see beforehand. And everything is determined in the story in which you tell yourself, and what you tell yourself, or what is happening according to that moment. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Am Yisrael the story of Yetziat Mitzrayim, coming out of Egypt, the Exodus movement of the people, right? And he tells them the journeys into the desert for 40 years and so on and so forth. In a way, why in the world does he need to tell them? I mean, they all went there, they all know it. Why you need to tell them? We went from here to there, from there we went to here, and so on and so forth, right? I mean, they knew the holy story, so maybe Moses or Moshe is trying to teach them how to tell a story. But that's not the case. Now, if you're going to look at the words, how the parasha starts, this weekly portion starts with Elu advarim asher diber Moshe el kol bnei Israel, where? Be'ever HaYarden, in Transjordan, not in the East Bank, in Transjordan, in the desert, in the plains, right across from the Red Sea, between Faran, between Tofel, Lavan, Bechatzot, V'Dizav, 11 days from Chorev through Har Seir until Kadesh Barnea. What do I need this determination exactly where? So the Mefarshim dealt with this already. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu need such precision in that? And the Ari explains the following. The Ari says that when the world was created, right, we were created perfect. We were created as a whole. The whole entire world was. And and that is the concept, or another explanation of what we call in the image of God. God is perfect. So everything was created perfect. And just as much as God did, we also wanted to create. We also wanted to see Vayehi, or let there be light. But in order for us to say, let there be light, we needed to create darkness. Darkness is not the lack of light. Darkness, according to our sages, is an entity by itself. I would say almost like black matter, for that matter, in space. Right? So we need to create a place of darkness, that from this darkness we're going to be able to bring about the light. Now, for example, if you go through difficulties in life, and everybody has difficulties in life, that's the whole purpose of life. Life is not easy. You think that somebody else's life is easy, but it's not easy for anyone. For anyone. Life was meant for you to go through difficulties and overcome them, and by doing so bring the light. So if you're looking for easy life with no problems, you're looking for an impossible thing. Impossible thing. It does not exist. The point is to overcome it. To overcome it. Fear is a good thing. Depends how you use it. If you use it for you as a motivator, it's good. If you use it for you to be immobile, that's bad. That's bad. So when you have that something doesn't go your way or something takes longer, let's say your doctorate, took longer. It's taken 3 years. Oh wow, it's taken 3 years. Why are you talking about 3 years? It should not. Who said PhD should take? Yes, if you do a PhD that's worth nothing, will take you 3 years. But if it's worth something, it'll take you 5 years, 6 years. But the whole purpose is, you see, all of a sudden you got it. So don't complain. Just see. I mean, there are many people who would love to have a PhD and they don't. So you're not doing so bad. Or whatever it is. Or even if you don't have a job, sometimes it's good because some people want to be in your state not to be able to work. So look at this way, right? So the challenge, right? That process that brought about darkness is a challenge. And we have, of course, a chance to fail, right? And we need to gamble on winning, we need to gamble that, we need to go through it. And that's in a way the story in which we tell Parasha. That's the story we tell the Parasha. But doubt, you should know, that's the concept of Amalek, doubt. Doubt and fear kill more ambitions than failures did. When you start doubting and you start being afraid, all your ambitions, all your dreams kills more dreams than any failure did. You failed, okay, so let me try again, let me try this one. As I said to you before, you feel like you're running into a wall. Okay, so why you open your eyes, why you look into a wall? Look for a door. There's no door. There's a window. Look, even Santa Claus comes through a chimney. What do you learn? I mean, you learn and what happens if there is no door and there's no window and there's no chimney? Make a hole. But most people refuse to open their eyes and they keep on walking through a wall and then they complain, then they give up. It doesn't work like this all the time. It doesn't work like this. And this is true to us also on a national level and an individual level as well. Now, those 10 days from Chorev through Har Seir, through Kadesh Barnea, the holy, right? These are the 11 vessels that were broke in the time of creation and the sparks spread up all over the universe, right? And these are the sparks that we are looking through the journey of our lives, right? Which is the way, right? Derech, that's the Derech Har Seir. Har Seir refers to the other side, right? The dark, the place of evil and darkness. We need to find the derech, the way, the door, right? The way to go, that we all have to go. We all have to go through this journey, just like the journeys that Am Yisrael went through the desert, as the Torah told us in Parashat Masa'eh, from here to there, from there to here, and so on and so forth. We are in a constant stage of selection and a search for those missing sparks of our lives. And that search is we're looking for our soulmates, we're looking for appropriate jobs or career or children, and Rabotai, also a community, a house, whatever it is that you're looking for, right? And in order for this search to be successful, to be fruitful, right, we need to destroy. Destroy, how do you say destroy in Hebrew? Lehachariv. Lehachariv, mishum charev. Chet, resh, bet. Charev is dry. Charev is destroyed. Charev is also a sword, right? So we have to go through all these elements in the journey of our lives. This is all hints within this pasuk. So we kind of need to destroy the whole entire world in order for it to be enough darkness so we can bring about the light to find what we were looking for. Let's say, for example, you have a shiny object and there is a lot of light and you're not going to find it. So if you turn off the light and you go with a flashlight, you go like this, it would shine. That's exactly the analogy of our lives. That's exactly what we are going through. And by doing so, by finding that, going through this, through Derech Har Seir, we are able to feel that we created a certain kind of building, or we built something through the destruction. In a way, what should have happened in the state of Israel after the Holocaust and so on and so forth, or even through whatever happened in October 7th, the point is that we should not keep on destroying. We need to go into the process of building and bringing about light. We should not keep on going and trying to wound ourselves out and creating an infection. You can get staph infection if you have a scratch and you keep on going like this. We need to engage in a process of building, of bringing out the light, to see what's good in Am Yisrael, not what's bad in Am Yisrael. And I'm not quite sure that we're all engaging in that or willing to engage in that. And that's a very big, musar to take right before Tisha B'Av. Right before Tisha B'Av. So, in order to do so, how do we do it? How do we actually come about to do this tikkun, this thing? Well, we need to connect to our root, to the roots of ourselves. Now, the roots of yourself, first of all, and most of all, it will be physical, because that's the easiest thing, to connect to your roots, right? If Bob Marley can sing, "Grow your dreadlock, don't be afraid of the wolf, draw your dreadlock, don't be afraid of the wolf pack," or something like that. Grow your hair. In other words, so he's saying, get back to your. Why can I physically also get back to my roots? Why do I need to do whatever I can in my power to look, or not to look Jewish, not to look like a goy? That's not the thing. Not to look Jewish, that's the problem. So start with this. How many of us wear tzitzit, talit katan every single day? It's hot, it's cold, it's just excuses. Wear talit katan every single day. What's the matter with you? That's a part of a Jewish thing. Wear a kippah. Somebody's going to beat you up. Learn jiu-jitsu, beat the daylight out of them. What do you want from me? You think if you're not going to wear a kippah, you're going to be avoiding that? You're a fool. You're a fool. However, we also need to get connected to our spiritual roots, to the shoresh, to the root, to the core of who we are. That's the only thing. That's why it says, Rav Lachem Shevet Bahar Hazeh. You sit around this mountain for too long. That's the translation. Rav Lachem Shevet Bahar Hazeh. Now, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say that? Because Bnei Israel could have claimed the following. And by the way, a lot of people claim this also today here. They could say, why we need to go to Israel, to the land of Israel? Why we need to go to the land of Israel? By the way, there's no such thing as the land of Palestine. Palestine is the biggest lie, and the Palestinian people is the biggest lie in modern history of the world. Just to get this off my chest, I'm going to tell you that. But the state of Israel, to the land of Israel, why do we need to go? I mean, we have the Torah. It's okay. We have been 40 years in the desert. We're okay with that, right? So that's why comes HaKadosh Baruch Hu and tells them, Rav Lachem Shevet. Just like, and this is on a national level, just as HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu, what did he say to him? Lech Lecha. Lecha is a singular form of Lachem, to you. The same thing as HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu, go to the promised land. He told Am Yisrael also, you also need to go into Eretz Yisrael, lechu lachem le'atzmechem, to yourself, to the root of your soul, right? As HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, ki lama sheshorish nafsho kol chai davka b'shchina, right? Any person that has a living soul inside of him needs to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Asher hi lemala keneged Eretz Yisrael. And where is that? That's in Eretz Yisrael. That's what the Al-Shich says as well. That's what the Al-Shich says. Al ken be'yot isha Yisraeli b'chutz la'aretz. When you are outside of Israel, hu nifrad me'atzmo. You're putting yourself in great danger when you are in Chutz La'aretz and you are not connected to the Shoresh Neshama. Even more so, right? However, he writes, Ach bevo'ei la'aretz, when you come into the land, the chobek irbot, right? That's by itself is going to bring you closer to the Shoresh Neshama. Nimtza ki belechto arza Kna'an. It happens that when you go to the land of Israel, hu ke'olech u'mitkarev el atzmo v'shoresh ve'ikaro. In other words, you're getting closer to who you are and what you are. Which is not the case when you're Chutz La'aretz, when you are slowly separating from yourself. Right? There are places, there could be spiritual places, right? Full of spirituality also outside of Israel. But only in Eretz Israel, a Jew could be mechubar to the root of his neshama, to himself. In Chutz La'aretz, outside of Israel, with all the spirituality that is out there, there's still a pirud, there's still a separation. There's no chibur to really who we are to ourselves. When a person from Eretz Israel, right, as we said, going to Eretz Israel, is not only you're going to the land, you're also getting closer to who you are. And you see a big difference between people who live in Israel and people who live in America, and many people that live outside of, in America, they go to Israel, they change as well. There's something there that does it. There's nothing to do. Now, and this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to tell him. In this case. It says, Rav lachem penu vesu lachem. In other words, go to yourself. Go find out yourself. You're walking and you're going where? To the place that this is where your actual spiritual essence is stemming from. That's where it's coming from. That's why he told them, Lechu velo bo. Bo. He didn't say bo el haaretz. He said Lechu el haaretz. Just like Avraham Avinu, right? Kimi sheba el beito ve'ikaro, like you're coming to your own house, that's your own home. Because biyah, according to come, biyah, according to the El Sheikh, refers to, it's going to come, it's not lehalicha. Lehalicha is to go to yourself. Lavo is to come into something. Here is to actually be in something. And it says that over there, pnu us'u, turn and go. Why? שתהיה פנייתכם ונסיעתכם אלה היותם פונים ונוסעים אל עצמכם ולכם. You need to understand why are you going for Israel. Why are you going for it? This is not because you want to, I don't know what. Whatever it is that you want to do. The main focal point to go to Israel, to the land of Israel, is to come closer to, so we become whole in terms of ourselves as an entity. Now, that's why if you're Chutz La'aretz, if you live outside of Israel, and you don't understand the obligation to attach yourself, first of all, to the Torah, to live in Makom Torah, you're lost. You are lost. You are lost. That's why you can't take chances to move to places that are not solid Torah places. Don't go there. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful the beaches are. It doesn't make a difference if it's the sunny state or the orange states or the whatever sunshine state. It doesn't make a difference. There is Torah, fine. There's no Torah, don't go. And when we refer to Torah, it's not some guy sitting there and learning Daf Yomi, once a year. We're not talking about this. We're talking about Makom Torah, and you know very well what I'm talking about, Makom Torah. I told somebody this week, I would love to go to Florida. I would love to go to Florida. To live in Florida is wonderful. I mean, I can buy, if I sell my house in Queens, I can buy 2 houses in Florida with a swimming pool. I can get a gun. I can do so many things. No state tax. It's a great place. But I didn't find a place that would satisfy my need for Torah. It would establish as Makom Torah. I'm not saying that they don't have Torah, but not like what I'm used to. I don't want to give it up. I want to go to a place that is better. That's my whole tendency in life, to go from a place that is better and better, not to go worse and worse. Let's say, for example, give me a name of a good car, like a great car, fantastic car. Bentley. Whatever Bentley. Fine, Bentley. Bentley Continental. Beseder. Not a problem. How about, I'm going to tell you now, drive, a 2003, I don't know what, Ford Escort, I don't know, they didn't make it, a Ford Fiesta. But I'm not going there. From Bentley, I want to move up higher. I want to move higher. Rolls Royce, whatever it is, I don't know. As long as there's a V8, I'm okay. no electric, no this stuff. But I want to go somewhere better. If you have a Dodge Caravan, you'll be happy to drive a Hellcat. But if you have a Hellcat, you're not going to a Caravan. You're not doing this. Why, when it comes to Torah, you are willing to go from better to worse? Why? I don't understand. For what? For Betzah Kesef? For what? What? Do you understand what you're causing yourself? So, in order not to be lost in Chutz La'aretz, you need some kind of a constant IV that will connect you to Shoresh Neshama. What will be that Shoresh? What will be that IV? Constant Torah in a solid place. When you are not the best guy there, when there are people, not a handful, there's a whole crowd of people who are better than you, that you could grow, that you could develop. You don't go to a place that you're the best guy. That's a death sentence. This is why learning Torah in Chutz La'aretz is not essential. It's vital. I mean, that if not, you're spiritually dead. You're going to get lost. If you don't learn Torah on a regular basis, I doubt that your children would stay frum. Your grandkids for sure. That's it. It's very simple. However, in Eretz Israel, as we say, the Torah is even better there. It's not that you go to Eretz Israel and you are exempt from learning Torah. In Eretz Israel it's better, right? Because what they say, En Torah ketorat Eretz Israel. En Torah ketorat Eretz Israel, right? Because we say, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Or mi Etzion tetzeh Torah. Right? In the Kabbalah, the negative forces that really accompany us and challenge us, right? Throughout that journey of our lives, that's the powers that you actually surrender to give up, to be meyuash, to give up and depressed and not motivated and so on and so forth. A person who is not motivated, who would not take no for an answer, he would go on every single door until he's going to get his answer. He will try everything. It will keep on bouncing. We were talking about a football player that was good. What was good about him? He wasn't the fastest football player. He wasn't the biggest football player, but he had a tendency of not stopping moving his feet, regardless if he was in a hurdle. Somehow he'd find a way, and always he was out.
What's his name?
If I'm not mistaken, it was Le'Veon Bell. I'm not sure. I'm not a football expert, but I think it. Le'Veon Bell, whatever his name is. Huh?
I thought it was Bruce Jenner.
No, he's not a football player. Now, laziness is also a negative force. Procrastination is a major one. Lack of emunah. In other words, you need to maintain your emunah all the time. Your emunah is not a Honda Rebel 500 that you don't have to take care of so often. You have to take care of it all the time. All the time you maintain your emunah. If there is something of lack of emunah, immediately you're going to take care of it. If, like, for example, the doctor say, you know what, your white blood cells is off, you're going to immediately take care of it. You're not going to let go. Immediately. The same thing here. Get those forces out of you. Learn how to deal with depression, giving up, not motivated, lazy, procrastination, lack of emunah, confusion. Not Confucius, confusion. Why are you confused? Because you don't see things clear. So what's the problem? Put your spiritual glasses and start seeing things right. Don't give up. You see, these are all connected one to the other. You don't see things right, you get confused, you don't have a emunah because you think God didn't help me, and so on and so forth. You get lazy, you procrastinate, blah, blah, blah. It's a very quick and fast ride down the long rabbit hole. That's easy. Shichecha, you become forgetful, not forgetting where I put my car keys. I'm forgetting who gave me the kochot to do things, the ability to do things, who did all nice to me, and so on and so forth. you're also becoming numb in terms of like your senses. You're not becoming refined. You're becoming brute. And you know, you're more of a person that would fit into a bar brawl in a Wild Western movie than a person who is a refined person. Because of that, because of all this, because you're not connected to yourself. Your neshama always wants to be refined, to remove all this husk, right? And this is until when? Until we reach the place of Kadesh. Until you reach a certain Kedusha, until you reach to the place of Kedusha. Once you reach a place of Kedusha, things are different. Again, I'm sure, give me a nice place in Florida.
Surfside.
Where?
Surfside.
Surfside?
Right.
Never been there, but never mind. I don't know, like a nice, is there a boardwalk somewhere? Like a nice boardwalk somewhere? In Miami, in Hollywood, there's a boardwalk. Where you? Huh?
I think Hollywood.
Hollywood, yo, is it nice? Is there a boardwalk?
Yeah, Hollywood Boardwalk.
Hollywood boardwalk. Yofi, besed. Okay? Don't tell me you don't know. I know you run there all the time.
Yeah, don't know, man. Yeah, don't.
So now let me ask you: is that a makom of kedusha?
Oh, no.
No. So what in the world are you doing there?
You gotta run.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Right, you gotta run. I never see you run so fast. Now, once you reach a place of kedusha, when you kovea yourself in Bet HaMidrash, once you get yourself into place of kedusha, even Tishma, the whole entire Eretz Israel is a place of kedusha. But there's some places there are less kedusha in them because of what people do. Not michamat atzman, because what people do. The kedusha only comes to a place or to an object because something holy was done with it. Some mitzvah was done. Nothing is holy by itself. So to that matter, yes, Tel Aviv is just as holy as Yerushalayim. It's a part of Eretz, or just as part of Eretz Israel as Yerushalayim. But what in the world are you doing there? Are there Batei Midrashot there like they are in Yerushalayim? Are there Minyanim there as Yerushalayim? Or all they do is breakfast, lunch, and dinner is doing all kind of crazy parades there. The same thing like this, very nice. Can you compare arguments like, I don't know, Borough Park to San Agustin in Florida? No, you can't! So why are you doing that? What are you doing there? Can you compare, I don't know what, another place, beautiful place in Florida, Naples. Can you compare Naples to Tzfat? Try to find a minion in Naples. Maybe you and the crabs. You can't do it. You're not going to find it. Learn to become a hit-seeking missile to Kedusha. You need to find where there's a Kedusha. That's where you need to go. That's where you need to be. Not in other places. Is Norway a good place? Actually not. Full of Arabs. But, it's a beautiful scenery? Yes. Are there any Batei Midrash there? No. Why am I going to do that? Don't you want to see the fjords? I don't want to see the fjords. Why do I need to see the fjords? Lo מעניין אותי. Lo מעניין אותי. I would try to walk in a shuk in Tel Aviv and see my people than to go see the fjords. A shuk in Tel Aviv. Why are you going to all these places? You want to go on a vacation, you want to go see a new thing. Why don't you take let's say for example, where would you go? Let's say you take 2 weeks or you take a week off. Take a week off, an argument saying, go to a Hasidic yeshiva. Go ahead, a whole entire week. Go live, go to Israel. Did you ever learn in Tzfat? Did you ever stay in Tzfat for a week? You did, what can I tell you? Baruch Hashem. Tzaddik echad besdo. Did you get up in the morning in Tzfat and daven with the Netzach Hama? There's no such thing as fear there.
Shem Ve'ever.
Huh?
Shem Ve'ever.
Shem Ve'ever. Or even just any shul. You know what it is to daven on Shabbat in Eretz Israel with a Netzach Hama? You don't feel the Kedusha there.
In the
You don't feel the Kedusha. You are the Kedusha. You walk in it like you're walking in water. It's all over you. It's not just a breeze. You feel it everywhere. Every neutron in your body. I'm not saying they're not beautiful places, the Himalaya. Ma yesh li lasot the Himalaya? Seriously. What do I have to do in the Himalayas? Nothing. For crying out loud, they don't even give chulent over there. By the way, thanks to Idan and chulent, right? So this is you want to experience something different. Go experience. But mitzad kedusha. Go experience something mitzad kedusha. Where would you rather move? Give me a place. San Francisco or to Muncie? Who says San Francisco? I'm going to shoot you. Yeah, Muncie, you're right. You're right. Why doesn't be San Francisco? Another city, another big building, another this. No money, anything. If I'm going to do this kind of sightseeing, well, let me go Makom Torah. I love to go. I know you don't, but I love to go. Not drive. I like to reach there, and not so good coming back because the traffic is. I like to go to Borough Park. I love it. There's something about this thing. One of my favorite times, for example, to go to Borough Park is in Hanukkah. I don't know. I just love it. When we went to Sukkot, how beautiful it is over there. Try to find this in Miami. They grow oranges, the orange state, but they don't have a etrog fair like they have over there. A guy gives you an etrog, it looks like a lemon to my grandmother, it's like a gross mitzvah, big deal. That's what I'm saying to you. You got to think different. You got to think in essence of kedusha, in seeking that, assorting, refining, connecting to yourself. Why are you so lost? Because you're never connected to really, truthfully who you are. And who you are is, first of all, a Jewish soul. And you're not connected with your Jewish soul. When I'm saying finding yourself, I am not talking about going to some kind of an ashram and saying all day long. Eating dal. I like dal, but I don't need to go to an ashram to do that. Or doing hot yoga in a sauna. This is not finding who I am. I don't need to go anywhere to find myself. I'm here. When you are disconnected from yourself, world is a place of darkness. When you're not connected to who you are in absolute darkness. That's why you must learn Torah. You cannot skip Torah. That's why Torah is the focal point of your life. You arrange your life around Torah, not Torah around your life. And the more we're going to do that selection, the faster it will be. So why it's called Kadesh Barnea? What's the remes of Barnea? Barna, always in movement. You can't freeze. A holy person never freezes. They say, okay, Baruch Hashem, I'm holy. I can pour, arak from a bottle, never ends. That's good. I reach the menuchai nachala. You always have to be in movement. That was so-called the mistake of Yaakov Avinu. He wanted to reach the menuchai nachala. He didn't want to do anymore. You always need to keep on moving. That's the remes that Avraham Avinu got. Lech lecha, na vana tiyeh ba'aretz, up and down. Lech la'aretz le'orka u'le'rochba. Even when you go to Israel, do you go all over the land? No. A shame. It's a shame. Barna, Kadesh, Barnea. In order to be holy, you need to be in constant moving, all the time. Maim Chaim, a bubbling brook that is metaher bekol shehu, is because it's bubbling and it's moving all the time. Stagnant water, go bad. Moving water, sign of life. So the faster you'll be able to collect this nitzotzot in this journey, and this is all the journey that we're going through, all these difficulties and harsh are stops in our life, journeys in our life. And if you look at something that, for example, you thought it was so hard, a few years down the road, you see it wasn't so bad. because you passed the journey. It's something that we all have to go through. Movement has to be always forward, not backwards. Parashat Devarim teaches us that in the way in which we're going to tell ourselves the story of our life, this is how our goral, this is how destiny would be. So stop telling yourself all the time, it's hard for me, poor me, oh wow, nobody likes me. You know what, you keep on saying that, nobody would like you. You are determining what your life is all about by your words. This is how you see it. This is how you chose to see your life. And since you see your life like this, you determine reality. You say to yourself what the world is. So that's why it's always better to look at life and to tell the story of your life from a positive point of view. Right? Even when we say, Kol akeva letova, every delay is for the best. Every delay is for the best. Or gamzu letova, if you're up to the level. However, if you are reaching this point, that you're really so-called sick and tired with the way your life are happening, comes Parashat Devarim and gives us this week the ability and teaches us that we have the ability to tell ourselves a different life story. Shabbat Shalom, have an easy fast, and Geula Krova, Bebiat Mashiach Tzidkenu, Amen.
Amen.